Hello, how's everyone today? It's a glorious sunny day and it's so nice to be able to be with you live again. My name's Anita Mazzero. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Horsham, Victoria. I'm just going to go and find myself on my page so that I can make sure I'm going live where I should be, because I don't want to go to the wrong page. And if you've been following me, you know that did happen once. There we go. Got it nice and live. There we are. We are here. Now, let me know if you're here. If you see the red live, you know that I'm currently live. If not, you're watching the replay. So whether you're watching the replay or otherwise, please let me know you're here. I'd love to be able to thank you personally for watching, and we'll see how we go, and I hope you can interact. Now today I am unprepared as I've ever been for a class or a live. I cut out some images using the Planted Paradise stamp set that I got some time ago, and it's just been sitting in the wall, sitting in the cupboard, and I haven't used it. And the reason I'm saying that is if it had not inspired me, and I thought, okay, it's sitting in there, I need to do something. And it's not easy when you're not inspired, but after searching a little bit on Pinterest, I've got some, started stamping and cutting out, and fingers crossed I can come up with a card. So I'm going to flip me down so that you can see what I'm going to do. So just one moment. There we go. One day I'll get the smoothness of switching the camera down and getting it all. I'll just slightly get my camera out of the way. Make sure I've got no shadows from the lenses. No, they're gone. Okay, so as I said, this is the Planted Paradise set. It is a reversible stamp set, which means when you use an image, you're able to use the flip side. I haven't done that at all with any of these. Some of the images I have found that, like this particular image, the way it goes, and then when you flip it over, it's actually the opposite way. So that to me didn't really gel with me, and so I thought, oh, well, I'll just leave it and I'll think about it later. That's why this stamp set has been sitting in the cupboard and I haven't been using it. So there's lots of leaves. So what I've done is I've cut out a lot of leaves and some pots. And I'm going to re-stamp some of the pots because I want my pots to be glazed. But I want to do a little trick with it. And as you can see, I've got 3 colours here. Trying to make sure I'm in camera. And so I've done 3 pots. I've stamped in Calypso Coral, Copper Clay and Pecan Pie. But to try and heat emboss it now to give a glazed look is not easy. So I'm going to re-stamp them on a scrap of paper. And I'll just put these in my little thing. And where's my little scrap of paper? So I'm going to redo them and show you a little tip that I learnt on, sorry for reaching over. And this little tip I learnt from Jay Serrano from Matuso Crafts. And when I realised what I wanted to do, I thought, oh, why didn't I do this in the first place? So this first one, I'm going to do in Copper Clay, which is the large flower image. And always make sure you've got your image well inked. And I'll put that down there. Ooh, we've got a little bit of a mark on that one. So I'll clean that off. And you know what they say about paper? There is two sides. Well, we'll flip it over and start again. Now, there must have been some ink either on my stamp or on the... There we go. Easy done. Clean the stamp up. Put that away. Then I'm going to get the bigger pot, and I'm going to use my Calypso Coral. Close your ink pad, Anita, because this is the easiest and quickest way that you're going to get it in a mess. There's nothing worse than doing a lovely card, working on your project, and then sticking it in an ink pad, and the whole project is gone. Clean that one off and use my last one. Now, as you will have seen, I have put the retiring list up on my Facebook page, and there's a lot of stuff going out, and I have been have heard that the vellum, which is retiring, is actually already sold out. So, and the retiring list doesn't go on sale until the 9th of April. So if you're interested in anything that's on the retiring list, my suggestion is don't wait. Okay, my trick here to get this into glossy is packing tape. Good afternoon, Lucia. How are you today? So I see that your retreat went really well. So it looked lovely. Okay, so packing tape. Oh, excuse the noise. So I'm just going to very carefully layer that over my image, like so. And as you can see, I've given it a bit of room because, as we know what tape's like, get little air bubbles in it. That won't matter for that because that pot will look a bit... So then we'll just get my scissors, trim this off. Okay. And as you can see, we've got gloss pots. So I'll just cut them out. And it's easy to do them before if you're going to put the tape on, it is much easier to do it. Oh, here, I keep forgetting that I'm off camera. I'm so sorry. So just take that off. And I'll give these a trim. And even though I got a little bit of a piece on this one, it doesn't matter. Because it'll just give a bit of a cracked look to the pot. We just fussy cut it. So as I said, this stamp set has no dies. It's all fussy cutting. But hey, it's nice. Yeah, it's a great idea, isn't it? I saw Jay from Matuso Crafts use it probably 12, 18 months ago. And I thought then it was a great idea, but I'd never done it. If I was to do it normally, I would cover it in Versamark and then I would heat emboss with clear embossing powder. But that was quite messy because you had to try and stamp correctly or you had to put your Versamark all over the paper, and yeah, it was messy. And when I saw this, I thought next time I want to do an effect like this, this is what I was going to do. So as you can see, voila. So very, very simple that I'm going to have glazed pots with next to no effort. So if you've ever got a project and you're wanting to have items that have got a little bit of a look, there might be fiddly items or whatever, stamp them and either fussy cut or die cut them after you've put your tape on. So there we go. There are my 3 glazed pots. So, done. Simple as. Now, I've got a piece of, oh dear, I've set that somewhere. This is why I said you've got to be so careful. Look what happens. I've sat that down and I have obviously had something sitting on my desk that's a little bit damp and it's left it there. Thankfully, and I've got 3 card bases, all ended up exactly the same. So, what I'll have to do, that'll teach me for putting something down and not looking where I'm putting it. Trying to be in a hurry today. So I'll get my trimmer and I will cut out the card base. Now what I do when I'm doing a card base, and this is at A4, score once, cut once. So score in half at 10.5 centimetres. Make sure your blade is out of the way. And then I score. Then I rotate it and I use 15.9 and cut. So 1 score, 1 cut, 2 bases. And then I use my trimmer. I'll just put that over here so you can see. I'll put that in the corner. I've got my score mark and I have the little ridged side up. Yeah, I did want to show you how to do card bases. I did that on purpose, didn't I? And so then I fold that over and use my bone folder. And I've got a perfect card. Yes, I hate it when I do things like that. As I said, if you looked at my craft room, it still hasn't come down from on stage. So there's my base. I've got a piece of wild wheat, 10 centimetres by 14.4. And then I've got a piece at 9.7 by 14.1. So I've just got a small piece for inside. So we're going to go landscape way with this one. And I'm going to use a little bit of the wild wheat. And I'm just going to add a little bit of colour around the edges. So basically what I'm doing is I'm going to drag the wild wheat into the base of the page. I'm going to take off all the excess because I only want it to be very light. Just in small circles around the outside. Just giving it a bit. Picking up the colour off the glass mat. Coming around. I'm hoping this will turn out today for me because, as I said, I had no idea. Just knew that I wanted to use the page. And there we go. There's the wild wheat. That's all I need to do. So I'm just going to grab a wipe. Take off my ink. And I didn't use a lot of the wild wheat, but it was just enough for it to give the colour. So, just wipe that down. Our mutual friend Brenton did his first YouTube live. I hope you've watched him. I thought he did a lovely job doing that. because I know how scary it is when you start off live. It's not as easy as people think. Okay, I want to give my pots a bit of dimension. So I'm going to just bend the card bases just because we all know pots are not flat. Here I go again, forgetting where I am. I'm going to give all three of them just a little bit of a dimension. Now, as I said, I did do a lot of cutting last night in front of the telly because, hey, what better place to fussy cut than in front of the TV? Oh, yes, you definitely need to go and check him out. He tried a Facebook Live and he was having some issues, and so he then went to YouTube. But I thought he did a fantastic job for his first time, and I certainly would like to encourage him to keep going. And I would like anyone that's watching to go to YouTube and have a look at Brenton Goley, Crafting Down Under, and have a look at what he's done. Because Brenton's quite an established artist. There's another chap I met on stage, Michael Katanar, another one on YouTube, which I would certainly recommend you go and watch. These two gentlemen do some powerful work. Right, so I'm going to put a couple of flowers in there. Just going to have a look at what I've got here. So as you can see, I just did a whole heap of stamping of different leaves and flower. The different leaves. I am no good with names of anything. As you know, Lucia, I'm hopeless. Just looking at the colours in these. So yeah, I'm just sorting through what I'm going to use. I like this blue. I think I might. Oh yes, that'll go nice with that. So pop. And all of these, I'm going to use 3. Keep my 3s happening. I think I'm not sure about these leaves. So again, I'm just laying them down to see how they'd look. And what I want to do is to put a thank you down the bottom here. Now I was putting on the label on my stamp and dropped the paper from the back of the stamp and it stuck right there. So that's why that's there if you're looking for it. I trimmed it up the best I could. I think the leaves need some dimension. I'm going to probably do them because plants don't go any set direction. I'm aiming at getting a card that's pretty much full of dimension of some sort. Make it very, very 3D. And as I said, I didn't prepare. This is going on the hop. Okay. Give the leaves a bit of a I like to be organised when I'm doing a card so that when I'm showing you, I know what I'm doing. But today, that is not happening. So let's hope at the end of the video, I have actually come up with something decent. Give that 3D there. And then, not sure, I think I want something tall there. I might change my mind on those. Where's my little pot? Yeah, I think the fiddle leaf plant flowers would look good in there. Can build up height. Yep. Okie dokie. So I'll finish just move all these out of the way. I've got plenty of leaves to use on the inside because we do want to have something inside our card because we don't want naked cards. Right. So here I go. So what I'm thinking, I'll put that there like that. That's going to sit. So I'm going to put these two, I'm just going to get a tiny dab of glue and I'm just going to put a bit on there and allow that to sit. Offset it so that it, let that dry. And for this, I'm going to get some dimensionals. Go. We've got many sitting here. I need some bigger ones. Good afternoon, Miss Kay. Yes, I have got lots of pieces. I had no idea what I was going to do when I came on, and all I know is I wanted to work with this stamp set, stamped a few, sat in front of the telly and cut them out. So who knows what we're going to end up with. Okay. So I'm going to put 2 dimensionals in the middle of this pot, but then I'm going to take the backs off. Oh, can you see me there? No. Take the backs off and then put another one over the top. And this double layering will create a bit of height. And because it didn't quite go the way I wanted it, but that won't matter. So as you can see, by having the double layers, it's actually helping with the bend of the card. So pop that one over there, and that's going to sit just so. So then I'm going to take a little bit of glue on the back of my plant here and just put a little bit of glue. Whoa, that's getting a bit way carried away. More than I would say normally to use. So when using liquid glue, less is more. I'm just going to slide that in there. And by curling the leaves, you can see the dimension that I've created. So if I bring that up a bit closer. So you see how the pot looks like a pot looks, rounded, and you've got the dimension in the card. Right. Then going to do exactly the same thing again with the second pot. Pop the dimensionals on. Put the next layer of dimensionals on top. So my aim of this is looking at pots in the garden sitting around. So you see there we've got the range again. So now I'm going to take these 3. I'm just going to sit them. I think I might put 5 in there. I'm sure I've got a few more because it's a large pot. So bear with me while I hunt through all my little bits and pieces. Thanks, Kaiser. Was aiming at looking at something that had dimension. This particular stamp set didn't gel with me straight away, but you've got to make do, and so this is why so just a tiny bit of glue, and I'll put 1 in the middle, and then I'll put a too much glue on that. I'm going to put one out here. And then one out here. And then a little bit of glue on these. And put them in the middle. Yeah, that's... hope it doesn't... No, I don't think it's too cluttered. I think that really looks the way it's meant to be. So then I'm going to add one in the middle. This one will only need one. And I'll put one on top. And again, I've got that curved pot. And this one is actually going to slide in underneath this one a little bit. Because pots don't always fit where you want them. I'll put a little bit of glue on this one. It's going to sit in the middle. So that's what I want to do, just have that one sitting back underneath. Bring this one just over the top of that one. Because plants are different layers. And let's put that one in there. So there we go. It's just, as I said, it's a simple card. And then I'm just going to get my thank you. And I'm just going to get some Pebble Path. And I love this colour. It's going to be awful when it goes. I'm just going to pop, fingers crossed, first time lucky. Bingo, we did it. No mess. So there's the card. I've got my nice shiny pots. I'm going to layer that onto here just to give that effect, and then we'll mount that. I'll get rid of all these other little bits and pieces. Pop them on. And then I'm going to, where's my glue? Yeah. I've got to get this room cleaned up because we've got a fair bit going on. Thank you, Jacinta. Okay, I will catch you tonight. I'll be interested to see what you're doing. Thank you for watching, Jacinta. I really appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to pop that on there. And that's the card. So I'm thinking it's giving a nice bit of dimension. But I just feel that pots are not quite grounded. And I'm going to add a little bit of colour. Just reach over and grab my pencils, which I'm just going to grab our watercolour pencils, and I'm just going to find a very soft basic grey, and I'm just putting a little bit of colour at the bottom, just where the shadow would be, just a little bit of colour to create the shadow and to help ground the pot, because we don't really want them floating in the air. So if you can see the little bit of colour there, just a tiny bit to give it a bit of grounding. So don't forget your coloured pencils for doing something simple like that, as it doesn't need a lot at all. Okay, so get some more dimensions and we'll pop them on the back. Hello, Jacinta, how are you? You would have always had the replay anyway. So I'm using the Planted Paradise. I keep going to say painted. I don't know why, but it's Planted Paradise stamp set. And we'll pop that on there. And actually, I'll show you a little trick. When you're using dimensionals and you want to be 100% sure that it's in the right place, just add a touch of your Tombow glue to each of the dimensionals. And especially as I'm adhering this to the card base, I'd like this to be in the right spot, because dimensionals will grip the minute they go down onto the card. And I don't want it upside down either. So I'll take that, pop that over there, make sure it's in place, and then I can press down on the thing. So now the only thing lacking is some gems. Right. I'll have a look in my box of what I could use. It would look really nice. Oh, I know. That'll look. Got to have a bit of sparkle in that. And talk of sparkle, I'm going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella to the front of the card. Just to give it a bit of texture. And if it's on right, it should be. It's a bit hard to see, unfortunately. This one might be nearly empty, so sometimes it looks like it's getting there. Yep, that went over it, and I can see it on my desk as well. I'll just get a quick wipe. So don't put Wink of Stella everywhere. Okay, the reason I'm using wipes instead of the microfiber cloth that's there is because it's a bit dry. I forgot to wet it. So as you can see, you can just pick up the bit of wink that's on there, and we'll just put a few, what have we got here? Adhesive backed glitter sequins. And I'm just going to use a few of those. So I'll just put one there. And one there. And one there. So there we go. Very simple little card. Now, if you remember, I said no naked envelopes. So we're going to put in, and I think we might just put one of the pots that I did earlier, and then take a couple more. We might take the mother-in-law's tongue. How's that one? Just fish those out. I'm going to have to invest in a new Mossy Meadow because it just doesn't want to stamp the way I like it. It's got a very waxy feel to it, and it's quite, that'll do. So, those out of the way. So pop one in the middle. Just a little bit of glue at the bottom. Because this is going flat, I can manipulate the glue. Just a bit much on there. Now I've got all over my fingers. Okay. I'll take this one. And I'll put this one just in behind. Yep, I knew there would be enough glue there. a bit lower. There we go. And we'll just put a little bit of glue, hold that in place. And we'll set that inside. It's just a little bit of tack there. Get your embossing buddy and just gently tap over, and that will actually prevent it from sticking when you close up. So there we go. There's our card. Oh, I never thought of that. Wash out the ink and then re-ink it. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. I'll have to try that because it's very waxy. It's actually quite painful to use, and it doesn't stamp very well. Anyway, I hope you like this. It's only a quick video today, so I hope that is fine. I actually didn't think we'd get online and have a good go because we've had no internet last night. We had hit and miss today, so I hope everything's all right and it'll be fine. So there's our card using the Planted Paradise stamp set. So nice if you enjoy fussy cutting. I presume you could stamp onto the page, but I didn't mind fussy cutting. It didn't take me very long. I expected it to take some time, but there it was. So anyway, I'll just flip the camera back around. And yes, so hope you all had a nice day, and I hope you've enjoyed the card that I've made. Considering I had no idea before half an hour ago what I was even going to do. And I'm actually very pleased with the way it's turned out. And I think that the wild wheat around the edge just helps to highlight the card. So it looks really special, and the pots are grounded. And it's a really lovely little thank you note that you could give to anyone. And I've got a couple of people in mind. I'm going to recreate this a couple of times and give that to some special customers of mine who have ordered this month, and it'll be their thank you card. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to try and get this craft room back in order. We did slate last week, and my husband's talking about doing another coat tomorrow, which I could strangle him, but anyway. Yes, Jacinta, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. I'll hear from you, and we'll meet up, or you come here. If we're doing the slate, I'll let you know anyway, so we'll be in touch. Okay, everybody, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for watching. I know it was very short today, and we will catch up. I probably won't do one next Monday, as it's Easter Monday, and the following Monday, because I'm being away, I will probably try and do a short video for you, which I will talk about the products that are retiring and go through the catalogue with you in that video. Anyway, I'll catch you all. I'll see you soon. Bye.